Welcome to the HomeKit Life. I'm Josh.
I'm Brayden.
This week we're going to talk about Matter, Select Blinds, and Matter.
Yep,
It's a double Matter week.
it is.
It matters a lot. Oh, bad dad jokes. All right, let's dive into it. Matter developer preview adds further compatible devices. So previously we had the Matter developer profile. It expired January 1st of this year, and it included light bulbs, outlets, switches, door locks, and temperature sensors, which is cool, but not a lot actually when you look at it. And so they've since added an occupancy sensor, a contact sensor, and a motion sensor, which I think is starting to give us that full look of what Apple currently kind of supports. So I think this is kind of exciting to see. Yes, bummed we're seeing the delay, but also glad we're seeing a lot more support for various sensors launching. I think for companies like Aqara, this is going to be a huge win because they're going to upgrade their hub, and you'll be able to add all of those different kinds of sensors in via their hub. So kind of exciting.
For sure. Speaking of new things, Select Blinds is now offering the Eve motion blinds in the US. So the motion blinds are motorized, just like roller shades almost. And so Select Blinds is now offering them in the US from their website. They offer a variety of offerings with light filtering and blackout shades. And it connects directly into the home app without a need for a bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I think the thing is here, it's the Eve motor is being paired up with Select Blinds offerings. So you have more options now, and probably more price points. So if you are looking to get into the smart blinds, I think this is a smart offering. Yeah, I don't know. Which brings us to the third topic. I definitely wanted to leave a little more time to talk about this. I thought this was interesting because The Verge posted a story, and they had talked to Jennifer over there, had talked to the CEO of Nanoleaf, and had also gotten some comments from, I think, some folks over at Eve. And it was a little surprising what I read in the article. Essentially, with the delay happening, the Nanoleaf CEO said he felt like it might be a good thing, and that there's more certainty across the industry that will have Unity at the time of launch. So I thought that was kind of an interesting comment. Like, what were you not expecting Unity? Like, I still firmly believe the reason that we're not getting Matter right away is because of Apple's kind of driving the conversation on when it should be launched, and I think that they're going to launch it with iOS 16 coming out in the fall. Like, I'm not joking. I really think it's going to coincide. And looking at some of the ecosystem and how it works, like, different players are bringing different aspects, but I think a lot of like how you add a product to your controller, to your ecosystem, through your hub, like that will continue to work the same way on Apple. And I think that'll be pushed out to other ecosystems. So you'll have codes, you can get a little snapshot of it, and that'll add it to the network of your choice. You'll still have to have the hub, right? The central like ecosystem hub. So a HomePod Mini or an Apple TV for Apple, or the Google hub, or an Echo running the Alexa software. Like, you're gonna need one of those in order to have that kind of central point to like route you out to the app of your choice. But ideally, it'll be similar in the fact that you'll have a similar way to add everything.
Mm-hmm.
And really kind of one of the more interesting takeaways from this article for me is that Nanoleaf has a couple of new lighting products that will work with Matter, and they've been ready to go. They're just waiting on when Matter is going to launch. But the thing that really kind of shocked me is that they're saying that I think you're going to have to get new essential line stuff to work with Matter. So you're like the A19 by default won't work with Matter, and like we've got the light strip here behind us if you're watching on YouTube, like that won't work with Matter. And I don't know how much that's going to actually matter. I don't know, that's terrible. But we were talking in the car, like if it still works with HomeKit, do you care if you're in the Apple ecosystem? I don't think you do. Like, I don't think it's really going to be a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you add it via Matter, to me, the advantage of Matter here is that we're going to get access to pieces of the ecosystem we didn't have before that haven't bothered to go through the Apple certification process, but have gone through the Matter certification process. And ideally, like, that stuff will just start to work.
Right.
And so, like we bought a fan up in for our Airbnb, and like that thing works with Google and with Alexa, but it doesn't work with Apple. Like it uses Siri shortcuts, which is like the cheap way to get it to work, right? You can write an app and put the shortcut in there, but I still think that that's going to be the big thing, is like, if it already works with Google and Alexa, can they just update the firmware and go through the Matter certification process? And, it's really easy to add at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They also, in this article, it's definitely worth reading. They talk about Eve, and all the Eve stuff should be Matter compatible. It might take a firmware update. I find it so interesting that the Nanoleaf Essential line just probably won't work.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's definitely intriguing that there might have to be a hardware revision just to get it to work with Matter. Especially since, like, from what I've heard, Thread is supposed to be like the basis of Matter.
Mm-hmm.
And like in this article, they were saying something about a chip difference between the Thread chip and whatever Matter is working on. So that leads me to believe that there is just something different that Matter requires rather than just being solely based on Thread.
Yeah. I find it interesting too, because it's like, to me, I just thought Thread was putting out one chip.
Mm-hmm.
And to kind of hear that they have Thread support and they are Thread border routers, like that should be kind of the basis of being able to, like, I mean, I guess the Essentials line isn't working as border routers. I would think maybe it's easier for them to expose the shapes and the lines and all that stuff to Matter, but it sounds like, yeah, definitely a big difference there in the chip and the Essentials lines. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, like a lot of people, like I was reading on Reddit about this, and a lot of people were not happy about this. And I don't, like, a lot of people have kind of seen like, oh, if I go in on the Nanoleaf, that'll give me compatibility in the long run because they have the Thread chips. But, at $20 a bulb, only working with Apple HomeKit, like that's gotta feel a little frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's it was very interesting to read this. I was a little shocked to read this article and just find all this out about Nanoleaf, and looking at the other story as well and looking at the developer profiles, there's also a lot missing here too. So. We don't have anything around exposing any kind of video cameras or doorbells. It it says light bulbs and switches, but does that mean, are we going to have some kind of fan support? I'm going to say I doubt it. It's interesting to see what's going to be supported out of the gate, and I'm excited for Matter, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be this like life-changing thing that's going to make everything better as soon as it comes out. I think there's going to be a lot of bugs to work out with it, a lot of firmware upgrades that might be a little bit less polished. Hopefully, having the time to work on it, they'll be able to get there better, and have better firmware support out of the gate. But just don't expect this fall to be an amazing like transformation of your smart home.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're in on the Apple ecosystem, like I don't know that you care too much about Matter at first.
Yeah.
Like you can still go buy all the Thread stuff right now and be setting up a Thread network, and everything mostly works good. Like we still see problems with we have essential bulbs in here, and like I'll tell it to change, and you can see like, oh, 4 of them will change right away, and like one lags behind, and then another one lags in to the change, and it's like, oh, this isn't I don't know if it's any better or worse than Zigbee. We have Hue lights scattered throughout the house as well, and they sometimes work that way too, where you'll see 1 or 2 bulbs change and another one kind of lags behind and then updates. So I don't know. I think in the long run, over a couple of years, this will be good for us, but it's definitely going to take some time for it to be a big deal.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Enough ranting.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this was helpful and interesting. If it was, feel free to give us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. That would be super helpful. And if you haven't already, check out, we moved the channel. We created a new channel just for the podcast. So if you sometimes watch on YouTube, be sure to go subscribe to that channel. If you're seeing this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And we will probably see you again next week. And hopefully there's more news. If not, we actually found a fun topic to cover on everyone's favorite current smart home device. So we might get something written up for that, and we'll talk through it. Thanks again for watching and listening, and we will see you in the next episode.